Hello Simmers, welcome to our live stream for The Sims 4 Get to Work. The very first expansion pack releasing for The Sims 4. It's available worldwide this week. So we're here today to show off some of the cool features. I'll quickly introduce myself for those who don't know me. I am Graham Nardone, one of the producers on The Sims 4. And I'm joined today by...
I'm Stephanie Tran. I'm also one of the producers on Sims 4.
So we've both worked on this expansion pack. I did a lot of the retail stuff, and you were focused on...
I did a lot of the doctor.
Excellent, because that is exactly what we are going to be looking at today. And just so you know, you can send us questions throughout the broadcast. Leave comments in the Twitch stream, which we'll be checking out and responding to as well. And if we aren't able to get to you, maybe check us out on Twitter later as well. Yep. I'm SimGuru Graham.
And I'm SimGuru Steph.
Perfect. So with that said, let's go ahead and hop over to the game. So we're going to start today here kind of in the Civic Center area of Willow Creek. So this is one of the new areas that you can explore when you're in the new careers that come with the expansion pack. Whoop. There we go. So we'll just have Stephanie take a quick look around. And so this is the hospital, and we are going to be playing the doctor today. But in addition to the doctor active career, there's a few other ones that come with Get to Work. Detective, for example, is one of the new careers, and that's actually the police building over there in the background. So depending on where you're working, you're going to go to one of these different locations. Yeah. We also have the scientist career, which is pretty cool. They're in an entirely different place, a desert kind of isolated location. We won't see that one today, but be sure to grab the expansion and check it out. Finally, I think one of the really cool things about the expansion that we won't get to see today, but it's got to be the aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the alien world, I'm not sure if I was just talking about that, but the alien world is definitely cool and it looks awesome.
No, we can totally talk about it. So you can actually travel to the planet of Sixum for the first time ever and see where the aliens live. But with that said, let's go ahead and jump into our hospital here. Let's see what's going on. So we're playing as Scrubs today, right?
Yeah, so we're here with Scrubs. He's talking to his pregnant patient. She just came in. She's ready to have her baby. So he's just reintroducing himself to her. So before we get started, let's have him determine baby gender. It's kind of one of the new interactions that you get when you reach a higher level doctor. So let's go ahead and do that.
And just for players who haven't even jumped into the expansion pack yet, so this is the very first thing they're seeing. Help me out with what's going on here a little bit. I see kind of the flashing hearts above their heads. What's that mean to me?
So the flashing hearts is an indicator of kind of the state of the patient. The blue heart means that, they just arrived, they need to be examined, they need to be diagnosed. Once you have a diagnosis is when your heart turns red and they're ready for treatment.
And so I guess with, who is that there? Mila? I guess we know what she's here for today.
She's ready for treatment, definitely. The other things, like if you're starting as a doctor, you want to check out your goals and see the goals help you with your performance throughout the day. And there's also kind of a progress bar, so you'll see how well you're doing throughout the day.
Oh, okay, so right there in the top left, that's telling us some of the things to do today. And I saw you hovered over it briefly. What's actually going on at the hospital here?
So today is actually an understaffed day. So you'll find that your goals will be a little bit different. So he has like mop-up puddles, which typically a surgeon won't do. But because he's understaffed, like he just has to do, be a team player and get it done.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, your experience day to day ends up changing and having some variety based on these different scenarios that might pop up.
So for instance, today we have deliver baby, but every day is going to be different. So you may have some other special kind of events that happen. We have kind of like a collapsed patient come in or like a house call.
Oh, cool.
So
what's the next step here? Did we actually find out the gender of the baby? Let's
see. It looks like she's having a boy.
Oh, perfect.
That's exciting. So let's go ahead and jump into getting the baby out.
That's one way to describe it. I've seen our surgery object back here. We help deliver babies with it as well. So yeah, we'll extract that baby. So one thing I really kind of love about the doctor career is the way the doctor really kind of gives hands-on attention to their patients, helping walk them through the hospital, giving them focus attention in those patient rooms. And we'll see that in just a little bit as well. So what's actually happening here, Stephanie?
So he's looking for the baby. Lasers and glue, what typically happens when you deliver a baby.
We'll take good care of her. And I realized on the screen he's actually looking at something specially for the baby as well. There we go. Procedure was a success.
So once you have your baby at the hospital, they get sent home, and then the mom or the dad, if the dad shows up, they both go home to meet their baby. If you're playing as just a sim and your sim's pregnant, you can also go have your baby at the hospital. And what happens there is when they're ready to give birth, you just click on your sim and then have them have the baby at the hospital, and then they'll go to the hospital then.
That's great, yeah. Now, I saw a question a second ago. I'm sorry, it scrolled off the screen already, or I'd say your name, but somebody was asking, what happens when you first start out in your doctor career? Because obviously, this is a little further into the career, right? Where are you right now? What are we looking at?
So I'm at surgeon level. So you're already kind of you've socialized, you've met all your coworkers, you've kind of put in your time to learn all the skills and examinations.
Okay. But when you're first starting out, what's kind of the first couple tasks you're going to be doing?
The first couple tasks you use, you make up the beds, which I can definitely show you guys. It's really cool.
That's cool. Yeah, it actually got rumpled.
Once the patients are there for a while, the bed will kind of get messed up. And one of the earlier tasks is just to clean the beds, mop the floors, socialize with the patients and make sure they're comfortable. Deliver food.
All right, well, I'm going to trust your expert opinion today. So what are we doing next with Scrubs here?
So let's have him go through examination. I mean, one of the most important things in the career is, trying to figure out what's wrong with your patient. So we'll start with examinations. And the way that works is you'll do a couple of examinations. You'll get some data on the patient. Like right now, looks dizzy. So we're going to do some examinations, see how she feels.
And so something you were telling me recently, which I thought was really interesting, is it's not just the interactions you run on your patients, but actually kind of looking at them to help figure out what's wrong.
It's definitely a good indicator of some of the symptoms that they'll have. So some of the examinations I'm running right now is you can scan body, check ears, check eyes, and there's also failures too. So keep a close lookout of what happens.
Oh, what happens with a failure? I haven't seen that yet.
I'm trying to get one.
Okay.
So, he didn't fail this time. For instance, I just swabbed a sample. Sometimes he'll drop the sample, so you have to take another sample.
If we could just take a look at that notification for a second. I just noticed it. So it says you ran that test, a tissue sample popped up, and it's letting you know that you need to go to the chemical analyzer next. And I think that's just kind of an important point for people to remember. As you're playing these new active careers, keep an eye on those notifications in the top right corner. They'll help you know, kind of as you perform actions, what the next step you might want to take is. So should we hit the chemical analyzer?
Yeah, let's go ahead and analyze. And there's Perla's sample.
Oh, so we've actually got another good question over here. St. Plays YT wants to know, if you are pregnant and you find a doctor in the world, can you find out their gender?
I don't think so. Because it's more of depending on what level they are, they have to be a certain level, and it's more of a user selected interaction.
Right. So you're not just like casually strolling down the street and you see a doctor and you ask them to check you out, right?
Yeah.
But is there a way for, like, if you're pregnant, you can find out the gender before giving birth?
You'll have to, you have to have a doctor in your family, right?
Okay.
But from an NPC, I don't think there's a natural way of having to get them to do that for you.
So we're using the chemical analyzer here. Tell me a little bit about this object and what it does for us.
So this object is actually used for all of the active careers, but in the case of the doctor, we're analyzing the swab that he took with, some cool lasers to see if, there's more information on her ailment.
Yeah.
So the more examinations you do, the better diagnosis you'll get. So once we get back to her, I can show you guys where our analysis is at.
Yeah, and like you mentioned with the other careers, I've seen this for the detective where he'll put clues inside it and actually analyze the evidence, or scientists can put like plant samples in there to help come up with some new discoveries. So we completed our analysis. What's the verdict here?
So he's definitely, the verdict is that there's definitely an ailment there. So we're going to go back and see what kind of information.
Okay.
So now she has a compelling diagnosis. We have 3 things to choose from. Do you think we're ready for a diagnosis?
Well,
I have my guesses.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards starry eyes, but I want to be a good doctor here.
Yeah.
Let's be sure we know what we're doing.
Let's run one of the new cooler, another test. Let's refer her to an X-ray and do an X-ray scan.
Sounds good. So as we're going here, I see some of the other patients in the background. We've got some kids waiting to be checked out today. What happens to those other patients just kind of as you're tending to this patient?
Yeah.
Are they okay?
So the orderlies will come by and check on them. So look at what happened right now. If I'm going too slow, patients will leave.
Oh.
So it's kind of tricky.
Yeah, and I guess being understaffed at the hospital today even makes that a greater challenge.
So people leave angry. It's unfortunate. So just need to be a little bit faster.
So we're actually doing the X-ray scan right now. Any surprising results you get out of this? I've seen it perform successfully a few times.
Well, it's a little bit of a spoiler, but sometimes when you get alien patients, you can scan them and you'll get some interesting results there.
Ooh, I bet you would if you're taking a look inside those guts. We'll see what happens. So,
looks like we got a question.
let me take a look here just while you're finishing up the X-ray. Vic Compute 74 wanted to know if a woman works in the police career and his husband is in medicine, how does one follow them to work? So yeah, you have a few different options for how you can do that. And when you're going to work in your active profession, you're kind of choosing who to follow for the day. So if you had your doctor, for example, and you're playing them, your other Sims can be in other careers and they can go and take care of those all on their own for the day. But you've chosen to follow your doctor, so you'll be with him. And then the next day you could choose to follow one of your other Sims instead.
You can choose, whichever one.
So
it looks like we're down to 2.
Okay, so we did narrow it down. That's helpful.
Let's run maybe one more test and have her on treadmill test.
Just so we're not taking a guess at it,
right?
Yeah,
have her break a little sweat and see if we can get a little bit closer.
Now, I noticed what looked like some sort of oozing puddle coming out of that chemical analyzer earlier, too. Maybe a tissue sample that got misplaced or something.
Yeah, a lot of like the machines,
there's another one.
Leaking oil is usually common.
Yeah, so that's actually one of our goals for today as well, right? Just because we're understaffed, normally our surgeon wouldn't be mopping up the messes in the hospital. All right, she's doing pretty well there.
A little slow, but it's kind of hard to run when you're sick.
Yeah, I suppose it would be. Now, what are we hoping to find here? Is this just going to help us narrow down those results further?
Yeah, just the more tests you run, the better diagnosis you will get. So hopefully we'll just have one left, but if it's not enough, maybe we have to kind of take an edge of the cake test or just keep running tests on her. Oh.
Ooh, it's like you may have made her a little bit faint.
Let's admit her back to the exam bed. She needs to sit down.
So I've got to ask, because I've just been watching you play, and obviously we're being very careful with our patient. We want to come up with the correct diagnosis, but I know the evil little thoughts running through my head. If I wanted to be super efficient at running my hospital, and I was just making snap judgment diagnoses on all my patients. Like, what's the worst that might happen?
So the worst that happen is the patient will leave angry.
Okay.
You'll get performance hit. I mean, the goal is to, if you look down at the career panel, we have career level goals. So you want to, keep leveling up.
Oh, I see. So to actually get promoted, I can't just diagnose the patients. It actually has to be successful, right?
Yeah. So the worst thing that can happen is she'll leave,
right,
and then you won't get your performance for the day for that portion of it.
Now, I just noticed really quickly, maybe we could pause for a second because I don't want to run out of time in our workday here. If you could pop open the notification wall. Yeah, we had a critical notification. Our workday is about to end in an hour, but we actually have something that we can do about that because we're not quite done with Mila yet, right?
Yep. So when you click where the progress bar is, there's a timer. When you select that timer, there are kind of 3 choices you have. You can either leave work early, stay late, or just finish out the rest of your day. So since we're not quite done with Melissa, let's stay late.
Okay.
And wrap up her diagnosis and treatment.
All right, we'd definitely like to get a successful diagnosis.
Let's close that.
So what's the final verdict? What's she have here? The triple threat.
Triple threat.
Oh, I thought it was going to be starry eyes for sure.
I thought it was going to be starry eyes too.
Well, it's a good thing we didn't guess, I suppose. So there we go. So that's a successful diagnosis, right? It changed to red. We know what's wrong with her. Can we actually treat her now and help her?
Yeah, you don't quite know it's a successful diagnosis actually until you treat. But in our case, since it's the last one, and it looks like for this ailment, you'll have to have a little bit of surgery. So
yeah, I missed what you selected there. What did we actually choose?
So under the treatment pie menu, depending on what your diagnosis is, whatever is available is kind of where your diagnosis ended up.
Okay.
The nice cool thing that we had with the doctor is we kind of made all the socials show up front that were doctor related, so it's easier for you guys to find.
Oh yeah, I noticed that. That's helpful. So you don't have to kind of go digging into the different interactions. We put them right up on the top.
We also added a lot of kind of new fun socials for doctors and for the careers as well. So when you socialize with your coworkers, they're kind of like asked about salary and things like that. You can do it while you're at the hospital.
So she actually, oh boy, did we just pull a heart out of her?
Oh man, put that one back in.
Yeah, she needs that, I think. But she actually ended up needing surgery, so a pretty serious case with her. Well, it looks like she's getting successful treatment. I know, when we wrap up surgery on her, maybe let's just try the new photography skill that's come in the expansion pack. Take a few pictures, because I actually want to bring those back home and use them in the next portion of what we'll be showing off.
We can definitely do that. We'll try to see if we can snag a picture after surgery. Yeah, look, it's successful surgery.
Awesome.
Let's see if I can sneak a picture with her. I'm going to pause real quick before she runs off. So the new thing we've added in Get to Work is the photography skill. You can take a picture on your cell phone as well as 3 cameras you can buy from Build Mode.
Yep.
So we're going to take a picture with our cell phone because I didn't buy. Let's take a picture with.
Let's see if we can catch her. I know she wants to get out of there after surgery. I know when I feel better, the first thing I want to do is get out of the hospital, right?
I'm not sure if we're going to catch her, so let's try.
Well, you find a good photo for us. I'll share a little bit more about one of the other skills that's coming with Get to Work. So photography is one of them. It adds a lot of new options for different cameras that you can buy, which have different sizes and different filters. We're going to see that in just a little bit because the retail store that I'm running in the next part of the demo is actually a photography studio, which is really cool. But the other brand new skill that's coming with the Sims 4 Get to Work is the baking skill. So a brand new kind of food related skill adds a ton of new recipes to the game, and you can actually use that to open up your own bakery as well.
Yeah, make your own bakery. That's what I did.
Yeah. So we find a photo subject here?
I did.
Okay. Oh, we're taking a little selfie together. All right. Now, so we can aim, kind of adjust the picture however we want.
So you can move around with your mouse. Or you can kind of, there's pitches in the UI, so there's rotate, pitch up, pitch down.
Cool.
You can turn on flash, turn off. You can switch the orientation.
Oh yeah, I like orientation. So
The interesting thing to note too, the other cameras that you can buy in the inventory, they have different sizes.
Yeah.
So for the camera, you have the smallest size, but if you want to buy one of the other cameras, you have more sizes.
Yeah, we'll show a big one in a little bit. I think for now we've had a successful day at the hospital. Let's head back to our home.
Okay. So let's use that.
Oh, here we go. End of shift. Scrubs did an adequate job. I thought we did a little better than that. We had successful surgery, a baby delivered. Come on. Preventative care is the best course, so he needs to step up. Oh, so that would be if he helped treat some of those other patients who are waiting.
We did have a couple of patients leave.
Okay, I see. So we're heading back home, and we've actually got a cool little house to show people. Well, maybe not so little. I shouldn't say that. Because there's a new feature that just came in last week's update. It's not specifically part of Get to Work, so everybody gets access to this. But we definitely wanted to show it off. It's really cool. Wow, we have a bunch of people on Twitch today as well, over 1,500 now. That's pretty awesome. So let's take a look at this home that we have. Let's go up one more floor. We can do that now, can't we?
Yes.
So this is pretty awesome. This is a 4-story home.
So,
previously you had 3 floors, right?
3 floors and a roof.
Okay. So now you can do up to 4, right? And that's it? 4 floors?
4 floors and maybe a little something more.
Ooh. I like that. Basements. So in a double decker basement there, huh?
So you can have 2 levels underneath, and then we added an extra above ground.
Pretty awesome. So up to 6 floors total now.
Yep.
And again, that is for everybody who has The Sims 4. You don't have to Get to Work to be able to build with basements or the additional floor.
You just have to make sure you have the update, and it should automatically be in your game. Another cool thing I wanted to show off that we've added is we've added Move Lot. Move Lot is right where Move House is. So when you select on Move Lot now, there's a new feature where you can rotate your entire lot.
Oh, and so what's actually happening there? I saw part of it turn yellow. Because this is cool, right? Like, this is the first time where you can position the lot not only anywhere on the lot, but you could actually pull down a bigger lot from the gallery and place it on a smaller one, and it's just going to chop the edges of the lot off.
Yeah, so the yellow highlights, similar to when you drag a wall, it clobbers other things. So they'll either go in your inventory, or if they get chopped off, you won't get charged for those things. So in this case, we don't really want to chop off the walls, so we can just rotate it back. But you can also pick it up and move it as well.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's definitely a cool feature. It'll be really helpful for all the gallery users too, to rotate. And if you go in here and you decide that what you place is not what you want, you can undo and you can also cancel.
So let's have our Sims just kind of enjoy themselves a bit, show off a bit of the house. And I want to mention to people while you're playing, if you like this lot that you've seen today, kind of our house here, or you like some of the Sims, we're going to be uploading those to the gallery just a little bit later. So if you go on the gallery and do an origin ID search for Maxis Creator _01, that's the account that we'll be uploading some of these under. So we'll have this cool house up there for people. And I think if you actually go on there right now, some of these Sims are already there. So the same Sims that we're using in our demo today are the same Sims that are on the front of the cover art of the game, or right there behind us.
Right in the front.
Yeah, so you can actually find those Sims and play with them as well. Maybe share some stories with us that you're telling with those Sims, so that's fun. Now, there's some other cool things in this house, right? Just a few kind of reward objects from the different careers that we have. So down here in the basement, what are we checking out here?
There's a really cool shower you get when you're playing the scientist. Let's have Audra jump in the shower before she runs.
Now, you showed me earlier, I think this shower is super cool because it's not just sciencey looking. It actually spits out water in a different way as well, right? It's disinfecting the sim or something.
A little eye wash, a little disinfectant.
Oh, I think she's not doing anything at the moment. If we can get her back down here. There we go. Now,
Thoughtful shower.
oh, that's okay. We'll have her feeling inspired, right? I might feel that way if I was down in my scientist lab. So again, these are just a few of the cool kind of reward objects that you'll get while you're leveling up in the scientist career.
Yep.
And each of the new careers has that advantage with them. You'll get a lot of kind of unique objects.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys noticed in the background, but in the surgery room, there's like this like skeleton sculpture that's really cool that you get. But yeah, every career, depending on which level, you get different things. Like there's interactions, there's outfits, as well as objects.
Awesome. So you know what? Why don't we swap positions quickly?
Okay.
Because I'm going to head to the retail store next, and I'll actually drive that part of it. So.
Swap.
And Stephanie, you can keep an eye on the questions or
Okay.
comments that are coming in for us. So let's see, I'm going to switch over to one of our other Sims in the household. Here's DS, and he is my cameraman, my photog extraordinaire, as I like to call him. And he has his own photo studio in the new neighborhood of Magnolia Promenade. So I just want to, I'm going to cheat a little bit. We don't want to take the time today just to make
Okay.
sure they're all happy before we go over. So let's just get him feeling good. And then I'm going to bring Naomi along as well. You may have seen Naomi in the trailer before the game launched. She's another one of our retail owners. Now, she doesn't own the photography studio, but I thought I would borrow her expertise in helping launch my photo studio today.
Could we maybe take a picture of them together with one of the
Ooh, that sounds fun. Let's get them down here in front of the house.
cameras with the bigger
Yeah, totally.
images?
So if we take a look in DS's inventory here, he's got a few different cameras. So some different ranges which offer the ability to take larger photos. And of course, as you skill up in photography, you'll take better pictures as well.
Yeah.
So no blurry photos, no gnomes popping up in your photos.
Where do these come from?
Here he comes. Yeah, this is a nice house. I'm going to have to add this to my game later as well. Whoa, where are you going, Naomi?
Is that coffee?
Coffee, what? I missed it. All right, so I'm going to take a photo with Naomi here, right in front of this cool looking plant. All right, so I'll zoom out so I can catch both of us here. And I'm going to select a large photo
so this
time.
one looks like now it has 3 sizes versus the cell phone that has 1.
Yep. And it's nighttime, so let's make sure that flash is on, actually. Yep, we're good. So there we go. And I'm just going to bring that along to our photo studio with us. It's right there in his inventory now. Outstanding, of course, because I'm an
Great.
expert at photography. So let's just use our phone to go travel to our store.
Besides the phone, are there other quick ways to travel to your store that you use?
Honestly, normally I just press the M key, to bring up the map
Yeah.
for you. So that's my handy way of doing it. I like clicking the buttons in the broadcast so people can see what I'm doing. Now, I'm here in Willow Creek, but if I want to get to Magnolia Promenade, click this new World Select button in the top left here, and there it is, the new neighborhood that came with Get to Work.
It's got a couple of new shops.
Yeah, we've got Patty Wax Emporium, JF and S Clothiers, and the Roadstead, kind of a department store. But here's my little photo studio, and ooh, it's named Preeminent Domain right now. We're gonna have to do something about that. I want a better name for my camera store. Oh, I see we have a question from Country Chris.
Country Chris asks, can we have more than one retail building on the same lot?
So you can build your store thematically that way. So if you kind of want to have 2 separate buildings on the same lot, you can.
Yeah.
But it's all the same store that you own. So it's going to be operated by the same employees, and
Yeah.
customers will kind of consider things from both of your stores when they come to purchase. Now, I figured we'd do a midnight launch for our new retail store tonight. But in the meantime, let's just get a look at Magnolia Promenade here, because it's quite beautiful, especially at night.
Yeah, the lighting's... Ooh, water.
You can see the ferries pulled up to the dock. You can go fishing down here. I love these trees, the palm trees that have the lights strung around them. So really a beautiful look for our kind of shopping area.
Yeah, and the flowers by the window is kind of a nice touch too.
There's a big park over here that you can go explore and have fun in, and even a nice little nature area for dining or just maybe a romantic chat on the bench over there, and even a little kid's playground. So lots of places to explore out there, but let's head into our store.
So before we dive into the store real quick, how about we build a dark room?
Ooh, I like the sound of that. So I think the perfect spot for a dark room might be down in the basement, just to show people how they work. So let's swap over to daytime here, just so we can get a good look. And actually, check out that lot. That's super cool.
It's cool. I love the use of the roofs. People
Yeah.
get really creative with the roofs.
Yeah, I've seen people do amazing things with roofs in this game. And again, this is another cool lot that we will upload a little later today.
Yep.
So check that Maxis Creator _
_01
account. So I think I will build a basement. So I'm just going to go right up here to build. I'll click on walls and empty rooms. And we've got the new basement tool here that we can take advantage of. So let's get our grid in place. And I'm just going to drag it out right about there. And if we go down, now we've got our basement in place. And let's add some stairs so we can get down in here.
Okay. So in terms of interface, we kept it very similar to walls. You put it down, you drag it, and you rotate it just like a regular room.
And something neat that you couldn't actually do in past Sims games is you can have stairs going to different levels of the exterior.
Yeah.
So right here we have the stair going kind of to the base level of the lot. But then I also have a staircase going up to the foundation level. So it's totally seamless in terms of how you build your basements. And just while we build, I see an interesting
I have a question.
question.
Mr. Titans 9 asks, can you live in this neighborhood?
That is an excellent question because I've seen a lot of people kind of confused about this. These lots in Magnolia Promenade, they're no different than any other location in the game. So you could change all of these to be residences if you wanted. You could build 4 gyms here if you really love working out.
You can live behind your store, maybe above.
Totally. So you have a lot of options in terms of what you do with this space. It doesn't just have to be for retail. You know what? I just remembered one thing about my store. I wanted to change that name. So let me hop back into build mode quickly. And I can click on the lot info panel up here. And this is where we get to name our store. So how about Photo Real? A little play on words there. And you can see we've got it set up down here now. So when I'm getting ready to run my store, I haven't opened it up for customers yet. There's a few things I think we want to do first, just before we do our midnight opening. I'm going to come over to the register and select what prices I want to sell my items at. So right now it's just set to the normal markup. But let's hold a sale. We're going to get more customers coming in, and then when they arrive, they'll be more willing to purchase. I won't have to kind of socialize with every single one of them as much because they're going to see the value of those items I'm selling.
So when you have a sale, it just markets to more people?
So there's a few different things. You could advertise as well. So if I really wanted to drive traffic to the store, I could purchase some advertising, or I could go into build mode. And in this retail section, you see how a lot of these signs, they actually help bring more customers to your store when you're placing them. So they're great to place as well. Now, if I change my markup to be something like 100%, that would bring the same number of customers, but they'd get there and be like, wow, these are expensive prices. And I'd really have to work at selling to them. So one other thing I want to do just before we open their store is click on Manage Employees down here because I want to bring an employee to help me out today. So I have this that pops up and I've got a few choices.
So how do you go about choosing the right employee?
Excellent
That's always
question.
a challenge.
So we've got a few different options here, and you can see some of the retail skills that our employees have. So the first one here is work ethic, and that determines how often employees are going to start slacking off. And when they do that, you'll see them around the store just having fun with various objects, or they'll start taking up other employees' time by socializing with them. And you want to make sure you stay on top of that, criticize them using your management socials so they get back to work. The next one here is the maintenance skill, and as Sims increase in this, they're going to be able to both clean the store faster and help restock items faster. And our final one is sales. Now, employees who are skilled at sales are great at interacting with your customers. So not only will they have more success at convincing people to buy, but once they do want to buy, you'll ring them up even faster. So you can get people kind of in and out of your store and make lots of money. Now, I see Selena here. She has good work ethic, not very good at sales. And I want to hire a less expensive sim today. So I'm already down to Selena or Jameson here. He's a little better at maintenance, but not great at sales or work ethic.
Yeah, maybe we want to go with Selena.
I'm leaning towards Selena, yeah. So let's hire her. And as soon as we open our store, she'll come over and start working.
Okay.
So I think we're in a good position here to go ahead and open. There's the big moment, open for business.
So actually, you just opened.
I want to show one thing. I missed what I wanted to show here. So we've got this really cool neon sign. I haven't seen a lot of people notice these yet. So when I open my store, boom, there we go.
Nice, open for business.
And you can actually upgrade these neon signs so that they'll flash and animate as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, totally.
Real quick, you kind of grazed past opening the store. How did you go about opening the store just so players can see?
Yeah, so you can just click this button right here. It kind of, when you're not hovered over it, it tells you the state of your store. So we've been open for 0 hours. And then I can just click that to close it.
Cool.
And I can do that as often as I want. So as we have some Sims arrive, let's take a look at what we're selling today. So I'm just going to click on the register and select the toggle for sale tag. And instantly that's going to show me what items are for sale in my store. So these are some photos I took earlier. And why don't we take our nice photo that we grabbed before leaving the house.
Wow, that's a bigger picture.
Totally. So nice photo of DS and Naomi there.
Cute.
And you know what? If we want to set this one for sale, it doesn't automatically go out for sale. So you can choose exactly what you're selling.
I see.
We'll just click on it. Let's add a frame to class it up a little bit.
Nice. So can you change the different colors of the frames, right?
I'm not so sure about that, actually. I know you can add the frame.
I think that if you bring it into build by, you can switch the colors.
Oh, let's take a look. So we'll go into build and actually use our design tool, right?
Yep.
Oh, there we go. So yeah, we do have some options there. So white, gold. I like gold. That speaks money to me. So we'll use the gold frame, and let's just select set for sale here. And so now our customers that have arrived will maybe consider purchasing it.
Okay.
New question.
Another country Chris question. How many employees can you hire in one lot or business?
Oh, so let me just pop this open again here, our manage employees window. So right now I have one employee. You can hire 2 additional ones, but additionally those slots are locked.
So how do you unlock?
Excellent question. So right down here we have a variety of perk points. Now I just opened my store, so I haven't earned any yet. But when I open up this panel, I see a variety of things I can spend those perk points on. One of those right down here is an additional employee.
Gotcha. Is there a max number of employees? Is it 3?
It's up to 3,
Okay.
yeah. So, and of course you can bring all the Sims from your household to kind of help out the shop as well.
The other thing you were showing me the other day is being able to kind of check out Sims faster too?
Yeah, for sure. So I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, it takes a while to check out my Sims in my store. I want to get through those customers faster. Totally, you should go into your retail perks. There's ones like faster checkouts, or even once you accumulate more points, you can get even faster checkouts, basically.
Nice.
A large version of it there. So as you kind of progress in running your store, you'll get more powerful perks that help you run more efficiently. Yep, totally.
All right, it looks like we got another question from, I'm sorry if I botched this, Mike's SWW.
You know what? I see you on Twitter all the time. I don't think I've ever tried to pronounce that name either. But yes, there is a way to attract more customers. So I mentioned a little bit earlier, kind of purchasing that advertising. And, why not? Let's go ahead and do it. We'll get a web campaign here because that's going to bring an instant boost of traffic to my store. The other way is really kind of putting up some of that signage. So I showed some of those wall signs earlier, but let's say I grab one of these floor ones. Here we go. So high impact sale sign, and you can see right at the bottom it says placing this sign will help bring more customers to your store.
So are some signs better than others?
Not really. So
Okay.
it's kind of a visual thing depending on what you want to have in your
Yeah.
store. It's up
Red
to you
tag
how you
sale.
decorate it.
Yep.
Okay, so we launched our web campaign, so even more customers are going to be arriving shortly. I should probably start interacting with some people and helping them. And I'm seeing this blue bar over, who's this? Jameson's head. I can tell he's nearly ready to buy.
So can you tell us a little bit more about the bar?
For sure. So the bars that appear over customers' heads, those show how close they are to making a
Yeah.
purchase. So honestly, something I like doing is while my customers are browsing the store, you'll see those bars appearing occasionally, and it lets you know how interested they are. I like to kind of watch and see who's just about ready to buy,
Yeah.
and then I go and I focus my attention on them so that I can make a quick sale.
Looks like we got a couple of people that are ready to buy.
We do. So you'll see a notification pop up over here. Something I really like to do to kind of help me find who wants to buy. You can click right on their portrait there,
Oh,
and it'll
cool.
take you to where they are. So here's Johnny Zest. We can come ring him up. And I think he is going to buy one of our cool photos today. I did a little architectural series
Yeah,
in
it's very
Oasis Springs
nice.
today. I think it's pretty classy. So DS is going to come right over. He's going to grab the tablet and just help ring him up. And we'll have a little money in just a minute because that's good. We haven't sold anything yet. I've been too busy talking.
Looks like we have another question from Lana.
Yeah.
Can you hire relatives and can you control them at your store?
Yeah, for sure. So the list of Sims that you get to hire in here, when you pop this up, it'll kind of rotate different Sims in if you check back each day. So you'll have various options. If your relatives are in your household, you can bring them to help out at the store anytime.
Yeah,
So
like we have Naomi there right now. What is she
yeah,
doing?
Naomi was coming. I can bring, here's Guy. He can come over. He'll come help out at the store as well. So at any time, I can bring other members of my household in to help run the place, especially if I have a lot of customers like this. There we go. What did we just sell here? Large print.
Oops. I was gonna point. That was gonna be helpful.
So we made $12. We've got a ways to go to be profitable. So let me check in on what my employee is up to over here, because we want to set her up for success as well. So Selena Upton, I can assign her a work task, and it looks like right now she's trying to answer customers' questions. Now, if I wanted to manage her as well, I've got a variety of options. So I could let her clock out early. Let's actually check up on how she's doing, because this is a really important aspect of retail that some people might not initially realize. So when I check up on her, she's going to tell me a little bit about how she's feeling, and that plays into job satisfaction. And how your employees are feeling will affect a little bit about how they perform, but if they get too unsatisfied, they might actually leave your store. Let's see what's going on here.
Naomi, being distracting.
She is. She wanted to go sit down, so let's check up on her again. Boy, there's all the customers. They're really focused on my photos in the other
We
section
have
of
a
the store.
question from AngelMan23. Can you have more than one store?
You can own as many stores as you want. There's actually a really great way to look at that. I'm going to pause for a second here.
Okay.
If I look at my retail funds down here, your retail funds are split off from your household. So something that you can do is click this transfer retail funds button when you want to move money around between your different businesses. So right now, this store has about $236,000 in its budget. But if I click the drop down here, I actually have another store over in Willow Creek. It's got about $100,000 at the moment, and my household fund's about $500,000. So overall, I'm doing pretty well.
So really
but-
easy to kind of move money around if you need to.
Totally. Now, we checked up on Naomi. She said, the place is pretty good. I have some ideas about how to make it better that I'd like to share with you. So she's feeling all right. And if I check up on her here, she's satisfied. So you can always go back to manage employees to see how your Sims are doing. And I can increase that by maybe promoting her or being nice to her. I can decrease satisfaction by yelling at her.
Yeah.
But you know what? She's kind of wearing a plain Jane uniform here.
Is there a way to kind of give uniforms to everyone, right?
Let's spruce it up. So I can click on the employee uniforms button down here, and let's go ahead and design a female uniform and create a sim. So you get to go right in here, fully customize your uniforms, set up anything you want, and you can actually have different uniforms for different employees as well. It's entirely up to you. So we'll just click on the little career tab and the up arrow here, and you can see we already have a few different options. These are kind of the presets that you come with.
So she can have more than one kind of type of outfit for work.
Yeah, totally. And I can add an additional one as well, or edit those pre-existing ones. So let's see if we've got maybe some fun options. So right now we've got the career filter on. We can even take that off and get really wild with it if we want to. Let's see if we find one that catches our eye here. Oh, this always makes me laugh. You could have a bear employee. Now, the bear costume, if you don't know, it doesn't come with the Sims 4 Get to Work. That's actually from the first game pack that we released, the Sims 4 Outdoor Retreat. Yep. So I won't pick that one today. Maybe something a little grim here. So I'll put her in the Reaper outfit, something that makes her stand out.
I was going to say we need to change her hair. Is that how it works too?
Perfect. All right, so we'll jump back in game and just show a little bit about how you can assign this to your employees. Now, as you hire additional employees, like I was mentioning, you can have a different outfit or uniform for each one.
Okay.
So they don't all have to be wearing a Reaper outfit, for example.
How do you change her outfits, like when she's at work? Is that something that's...
Yeah, so there she is. We'll just go right back to employee uniforms, and let's assign a female
Gotcha.
uniform. So there's the options that we had in Create a Sim. I'm going to select my Reaper and then apply it to Selena. And she's just going to pop that right on. So
ready to sell.
Yeah, and I've got my Reaper. She's doing a little upselling on our customers there. So things are going pretty successfully for this business, I'd say.
Why don't we go ahead and do maybe a photo of someone that's there?
Yeah, why don't we use this cool new object, the photography studio. So it is a studio. We'll take advantage of this thing, which is part of the new photo skill. So we can set a cool backdrop, maybe a brick wall, or...
I like the outside one.
Good call. Let's do outdoors.
Pretty.
That is pretty. Looks like one of our parks will fool people into thinking we actually went out on location. So let's take a group photo of some adults. We'll get Ruben here, and let's grab Liberty. Have them in a photo together. So Guy here, he's going to come over and operate the camera for us. Let's see, where was Liberty today? Oh, she's in the middle of getting rung up.
She's waiting for a sale.
So Naomi's actually ringing her up and completing a sale, so we probably don't want to disturb her, actually. Let's select some different Sims for our photo. So I'm going to grab Ruben again, and let's try Faith. Hopefully she wasn't ready to buy as well. Nope, there she is. So we'll get a good photo going here.
She even matches the background.
I love the little different poses that they do.
The other thing that we didn't show is the filters.
Yeah, so let's take
really
a look.
Cool.
So you can select from a bunch of different filters: Grayscale, Sepia, Oversaturated, Inverted if you really want to get crazy. We'll do a nice bright picture. The lighting in the shop's a little dim today.
It's pretty with the background.
And let's make it a large photo as well. Yeah, we'll get all of them in here in a nice portrait, I think. And so let's take our photo.
And a quick way to take a photo, if you guys didn't see, there's a hotkey for C, and I'll capture really quick.
Mm-hmm. And so I'm just going to hang it right up on the wall here.
Right next to the bathroom.
It's fine. And we'll set that one for sale as well so that our Sims in the store can think about buying it maybe. Now, we've got a bunch of customers ready to check out, but you know what? It looks like dawn is coming up here. Any last questions we want to get to today while I kind of shut down my store?
Well, these Sims this lot be on, or the Sims in this lot be on the gallery?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you like our cool photography store, Photoreel, check on that Maxis creator account a little bit later today. So again, you'd go to the gallery, do an origin ID search for Maxis creator _01.
Yep.
And you can find a lot of our Sims and cool lots that you've
And we'll
seen.
upload that today.
Yep.
Another question. Oh.
So I'm just going to close my store here because we'll do a little tending to the shop afterwards. And you can see a little bit about how we did today.
I have another quick question from That's It Up 63. What other businesses can you have?
Oh, you can totally do any type of business. So we had photography here. We mentioned baking earlier. Those are just two of the new skills that come with Get to Work, but literally sell everything, anything you want. I think the first thing everybody seems to jump to for some reason is the toilet store. So
Really?
you want to sell toilets, go for it. If you want to sell the toilet paper store, you could do that. But basically take any object in buy mode, set it for sale, take any of the things that you're crafting. So you can write your own books, you can create your own paintings, even use the new camera skill that lets you take a photo, like a reference photo, and then paint that photo.
Yeah, that's a really cool thing. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, that's super cool. And so you can actually take all of the content that your own Sims are creating and set that for sale. So it's a huge system that really lets you explore your creativity. So we'll just see. We were open for 6 hours today. We sold one object. I only rang up one Sim. Made $12. I paid out $95 to Selena there, and another $250 for advertising, for a grand total of negative $333.
We didn't do so well.
No, it wasn't so hot today. And I'd actually give people a little tip if they're looking to get into their first retail store. I'd actually suggest starting small. If you want to do a mega store right off the bat, you might find it challenging to balance all the different things that you need to do in your store. So open up a little shop and maybe a little boutique, see how it goes, build your business over time, start to buy some of those perks that'll help you run, and then build up into that mega store. So I'm just going to help restock one of the items now that we've closed and kicked out all the customers, and I think that's going to wrap it up for retail today. So really just a reminder kind of what we've looked at. We saw a bit of the doctor career.
And build mode. Move lot is very cool, so check it out. Extra floor above, and then the 2 extra basements.
And of course, it's more than just what we've showed off in the demo today. The Sims 4 Get to Work comes with both the doctor, the detective, and the scientist. So 3 active careers to explore. You can actually go to the alien world of Sixum for the very first time.
Very cool.
It looks awesome, so check that out. And a whole retail feature to explore, running your own store, making a lot of profit. You can go shopping in these stores as well if you want. So lots of great gameplay to check out. It is our very first expansion pack for The Sims 4. We couldn't be more excited. It is out worldwide this week. So if you aren't already playing already, you will be soon.
And thank you for joining us today.
Thank you
it's been
so
a lot of
much
fun.
for joining us. We will see you again soon. Bye, Simmers.